I'm Cadry. Welcome. I am here today with Sarah from the very charming blog Fried Dandelions. Hi, Sarah.
Hi everyone who's watching, I'm Sarah and I am the blogger behind Fried Dandelions. Nice to meet all of you.
What inspired you to go vegan?
I became a vegan after being a vegetarian for 2 years. When my son was about 10 months old, every time he would have any kind of dairy, he would have some kind of blotchy red hives wherever the dairy came in contact. So if he was eating yogurt, he'd get little blotchy spots all over his face. And I decided that that was just my final excuse to become vegan. I had been toying with it for a while, and I thought that that would be a good way to become vegan without everyone thinking I was crazy. I could just blame it on my baby and say, oh, it's for his health. And here we are almost 2 years later, and it really stuck. And I definitely think that this is the way we will be eating from here on out.
Sarah, you often write about your husband, Irving, and your son, David. Are they vegan?
When people first find out that I'm vegan, they're very quick to ask if my husband is vegan as well. And the answer is that he's not. He is very supportive of my vegan cooking, and that we're raising our son vegan, and he thinks we're making great healthy choices.
Sarah, do you have any advice that you would give to a person who wanted to go vegan?
People often ask for tips on how to go vegan and how do you get started. It seems so overwhelming at first. And I think one of the important things to remember is that you may make mistakes, and that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. There are a lot of products that are snuck into processed foods at the grocery store that you would never even realize are not vegan, and sometimes it can be hard to avoid those when you don't know exactly what you're looking for. So just take it a little bit at a time, and as you learn, you'll make less mistakes, and pretty soon you'll be feeling pretty confident when you hit the grocery store. Another thing is to recreate some old traditional favorites. You can use meat analogs to help you with this, like veggie nuggets, and you could make like a chicken parmesan, but you could do it with veggie nuggets, and that would be a great way to kind of transition yourself. Once you get the hang of it, you might not want to rely so much on processed like meat analogs, because they are exactly that. They're very processed, and relying too much on those isn't really the healthiest for you, but it's a great way to get started. Another thing that's important is to seek out ethnic foods. Most other countries don't rely on meat as heavily as a typical American meal might, and so they're a great place, especially when dining out. You can go with some friends to a Mediterranean restaurant, and you can have hummus and a salad and falafel, and you won't feel like the odd man out having to make all these exceptions with your meal. It'll already be vegan for you, so it's a lot easier, and it'll help you to feel like you're fitting in with the rest of your friends. So just take it one step at a time, and remember that there's a learning curve, just like learning to cook the first time when you first moved out on your own. And once you get a repertoire of recipes, then you can slowly add and change things up and experiment, and you'll feel really comfortable.
Are there any foods that people think that all vegans like that you don't like?
I'm planning a trip in a week or so to visit a friend, and she is trying to get accommodations figured out, and she said, besides being vegan, are there any foods that you don't like? And I kind of laughed, because to someone who's not a vegan, a vegan diet seems pretty restrictive. And I laughed. I said, well, my big girl answer is that as long as it's vegan, I'll eat it, and that I'll be open-minded. But if you really want to know the truth, there are a couple of foods that everyone thinks vegans like that I really can't stand. The first is mushrooms. I'm just not a big fan of mushrooms. I think it's something about the texture. I don't mind if they're cooked into things, and I will even puree them into pasta sauces because I know how healthy they are. But a lot of times we'll go to a barbecue and they'll say, look, we grilled portobellos for you, and I just kind of have to groan inside and say, oh, I just really don't like mushrooms, but I'll try to grin and bear it.
What would you say is the kitchen gadget that you could not live without?
In my years of cooking, I've managed to collect quite a few kitchen gadgets that I really love. I try not to get too many single-purpose gadgets because they take up so much space, but some of the ones I love are my Vitamix and my julienne peeler for making awesome zucchini noodles, and the most important one is my KitchenAid food processor, which you can see right behind me. Irving actually gave this to me, so that's part of why it's so special. It was a gift when we were dating, and I know what you're thinking. It's not a very romantic present. However, he knew how much I wanted one and knew that it would be put to good use. I have put this thing through the ringer. I have snapped a blade, food processing cookie dough. I've dropped it and broke the handle, which made it so it wouldn't close anymore, so it wouldn't actually turn on. So I've had 2 replacement parts and 7 years of heavy duty, nearly everyday use, and it is still cranking out the best hummus you will ever taste. And if you'd like the recipe, pop on over to frieddandelions.com and you can learn my secret ingredient. And I'll give you a hint. I learned to put this ingredient into my hummus when I was honeymooning in the Dominican Republic. So you'll have to check it out and see what it is.
Sarah, thank you for coming on today. It's been a real delight talking to you.
I've been following you for a year now since I started blogging, and it's been such a privilege to be included in this roundup of bloggers. I was very honored when you asked me, so thank you so much. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you will pop over to my blog, and you can find me at frieddandelions.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can follow me on your preferred choice of social media. Check it out. There's lots of healthy and delicious, family-friendly recipes and a gazillion pictures of my cute toddler. So I hope you'll stop by and find some recipes that'll fit for your family. See you soon. Bye.
And we'll see all of you next time.